Well, good morning, friends. It is February 13th, Friday, and I'm actually getting ready to shed this upper layer here once the sun comes up a little bit more, because it's high 30 degrees today. It's gonna get into the high 40s. We haven't even hit mid-February yet, but today we are at least starting with working on the silage wagon, which is a weekly occurrence around the farm. And I'm gonna start with that, see if we can get that fixed and get this over to be filled. So I hope you enjoy the video.
Wilson wanted me to introduce this clip. I'm drilling a hole. Well, let me explain. I'm fixing my silage wagon, which is a weekly occurrence. The way that Knight built that, Knight Manufacturing in Broadhead, Wisconsin, way back in the 1950s or 60s, the way that they built that is out of sheet metal with the minimum bracing, but in some places of that wagon, bends in the sheet metal was the bracing. So we've been using this wagon for 10, 12, 15 years now. Maybe not 15, because I remember when I went and got it.
Not 15.
Bought it quite used, obviously. But prior to me using it, I'm sure all it was used for was maybe ear corn or firewood or small grains. Who knows? But I'm sure they didn't put corn silage in it. Corn silage is, of course, very corrosive. So after 4 or 5 years of us hauling and using it for corn silage on a year-round basis, that corn silage ate through the sheet metal. We then lined the sheet metal with 3/8 plastic sheet, which is awesome stuff and has quite a bit of its own strength. But the front of our wagon, which is braced only by the bends in the sheet metal, is severely rusted out now, and the front is starting to crush down on itself. So we're making a brace to hold the front up in the corners.
Now, are we gonna make 2 braces or just 1?
No, the other side's good yet, because I braced that several years ago. Now when that wears out, we're gonna have to do this again. But anyhow, reusing an old manure spreader apron slat, which is probably overkill, but I'm into it now. I've shaped it to what I need. I'm just drilling 2 holes now to attach it to the wagon with bolts rather than welding. If I was building it new, welding would be a good idea, but bolts now in case I need to take it apart and reposition or whatever. It's kind of an easier fix for me now. So I'm drilling a hole. Wilson's helping me on a drill press given to me by my father-in-law, built by his father, I believe. So here we go.
So what do we have here? We have bottle jack being supported.
All right, I'm almost embarrassed to show this.
Yeah, well, it's ingenuity right here.
Let me show you why. I explained before that the wagon is being crushed because the only thing that held it out at this end was sheet metal bent,
which is missing.
There isn't a brace like what you see back there and a brace in the back. So when this rusts out, the front crushes. And the problem I'm having is the inside liner is coming down with the crush and catching my apron chain as it comes around. And with the weight of the silage on there, it's breaking slats off. And the slats are held on just by a 5/16 bolt. It actually acts like a shear bolt, if you will.
So I see you've gotten that secured in a way.
Yeah. Anyhow, to stretch it back out here, to find the proper length of the brace I'm putting in, I had to jack up.
Lift the whole. Interesting.
So I know there's always someone out there concerned about my safety, and I also am concerned about my safety. This is a pretty sketchy way to stretch it out, but I need to get my work done.
Making one.
If it explodes
mounting point up there
and sends me to the hospital, we will not show that on the YouTubes.
Probably not. It might be trending content though.
Hurts me to scratch up the yellow paint like that just to drill a hole.
Oh yeah, the beautiful yellow paint. It used to be beautiful. I mean, it's not too bad right now.
Yeah, if you want to see what it used to look like beautiful,
there's a video of me back when I was beautiful too.
Go search. What is the playlist you have there? Shop Talk with Wilson.
There's a Shop Talk with Wilson, Night Power Wagon, and that would show you
Wilson was
me driving the H when the H was beautiful.
A wee little lad, and I kind of remember the day we recorded that video.
It was a rainy day.
Wilson
I was wearing a hoodie that was way too big.
Wilson was not in a very good mood.
No, I was cold. I was cold wearing your hoodie, so it was kind of big. Yeah, no, I wasn't having much fun, but I did record the video. Well, I didn't record it.
He took one for the Gipper.
I stood for
Oh, actually,
Hank's
we
camera,
were
so
doing it for Hank. Now, I don't know if the way our YouTube channel has ever been explained, but way back in the day, when the first video that, you know, the kind of farm video that was made was George actually wanted to make a video.
Well, you told us. I remember we were all sitting down in front of your computer because you had your old iMac, and we were looking at your one video that you had published way back about the Virginia Ingram.
Yeah, which was a barge.
And your one video that you had posted on your channel. And you told us that there was a chance that we could make money on YouTube.
Correct.
And
Dad was sitting here. Mom was at work. Dad was sitting here with 4 kids who probably were starting to get on my nerves for one reason or another. Didn't have anything to do. It was a nice summer day. And yes, I told him, go make a video. You can get rich on YouTube.
Yeah,
and George picked that up. George wanted to get rich. So
yeah, so he got George and Hank. So we all went out looking to make videos.
And Hank was always the one. Hank was the natural with the camera. So anyhow, years later, once the YouTube channel got enough subscribers and Google actually started paying us a few cents a month, I told Hank that he could have that money because there was really no way that we could pay any of these kids a working wage, even an allowance for working on the farm. But I told them, you want to go to work, make a YouTube video, and so it started earning $30 a month or something. I told Hank, well, if you keep up on the videos, if you want to take this over, you can have the money. So that's how Hank became the face of the Keith Fink Organ Echoes channel back in the day. And when Hank left, we told Wilson, if you want to be able to make yourself some money on the side, you can take over the YouTube channel. So that's why Wilson is filming now. So just so you guys don't think that the old man's a money grubber, you know, putting the kids to work so he can make thousands and thousands of dollars a month on the YouTube, I have never seen a penny of this money. It's the children.
Going back to
now you know what a great dad I really am.
Going back to that one day where we all grabbed our cameras and went out to do YouTube videos, George and Hank kind of teamed up, and they went to go actually make a good video, you know, farm tour. There you go. Let's go make a farm tour. And Lydia and I grabbed a different camera because they were both Dad's cameras.
I don't remember that.
We grabbed a different camera. Lydia and I went into the barn and we were just filming cats, but we grabbed the wrong camera. We didn't grab the good camera, apparently. That's what Hank said. Hank said that he and George grabbed the good camera and we grabbed the bad camera. So we were having trouble with our filming because we probably didn't have enough space or battery or anything. And they got their video all done.
Hank would know. He knows the camera.
So that's when Hank got the momentum on the channel, because Lydia and I were, first of all, we weren't filming the most interesting subject in cats. And we didn't have the good camera. So it all started right there. We all tried to make videos, but Hank and George, and then ultimately Hank, were the ones that actually ended up growing, let's say, planting the seed and growing, rather than withering away or falling at the first hurdle. Really gotta get.
If I can get this back on, I want to. It's probably holding the wagon together in a different way.
Yeah, probably. There's probably quite a bit of tension on it. Actually,
all I need to do is take that off.
well, if it shows the torque on that,
I don't know. Let's see if I can find a higher grade.
if it shows the torque on that DeWalt electric ratchet, it just broke off. What is that, a 5/16 bolt? Just broke off a 5/16 bolt, and it wasn't even trying very hard. New cheapo bolt. See if this one breaks. Maybe don't crank it so hard.
Maybe.
Maybe. Beep, beep, beep. Beep. I feel like I saw it slip a little bit at the end.
You saw it slip a little bit?
Well, not slip, your ratchet go. Like it was starting to break off again. I think we're good.
Now we can take bets as to how long this will last.
Probably till next week.
Don't know if we can offer any prizes.
I can show you last week's silage wagon fix. So right underneath the floor here, just this front quarter of the floor probably, there was nothing really underneath the plastic. Everything's rusted out. Now that's kind of the case on the whole wagon, but we lost our mounts because they were going into nothing because the original floor had rusted out. And this whole front sheet of plastic had scooted back with the frozen silage. So, last week we mounted a piece of plywood under there. So we have a real floor under there now. And then the rest of the wagon still just has the rusty old original floor. And we'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, we'll check back next week and see what we need to fix on the silage wagon next week. But the fix that I made yesterday was actually a tractor fix. The main feed hose for the loader. This hose right here that's wrapped with the other ones with a milking towel that comes straight from here all the way down under the belly of the tractor, comes around back up and mounts in right here. That hose had developed some pretty serious leaks in it, so I took the old hose off, took it down to, well, it used to be tree mold, now it's Swiderski Outdoor Power in white water. Got a new hose made up, so now that is not leaking buckets of oil on the ground anymore. So we're going to clean up our tools here and advance the chain to where we want to start the load. Advance the apron, I should say. To where we would want to start a load. And I'm going to take it over and get it filled. The snow is melting and I'm quite happy to see it. I think next Monday, today's Friday, next Monday, I saw it's supposed to be a high of 61 degrees, which is just crazy. That'll be the 16th of February, and it'll be 60 degrees. But yet, a month ago, maybe a little bit less than a month ago, we were hitting 20 below. So that's an 80 degree difference within 1 month. 1 month, and there's an 80 degree difference. That's, I'm sure there are other places on Earth where that happens, but how many places on Earth does that happen? It's pretty dramatic temperature change within a short time window. So we're just driving over to my dad's cousin's farm where we get our corn silage from. They make corn silage in the fall. And then during the fall, winter, spring, whenever we don't have sweet corn silage from Seneca, we haul our wagon over there and get it filled usually about once every week. It's only a few miles over there and not a bad drive. With this wagon though, because it's just a farm wagon with float tires, I can really go only 25, 30 miles an hour tops over there. So it's a 10-minute drive, maybe. Maybe not quite 10 minutes. 5 to 10. 6, 7? I don't know. Truck I'm driving is our Ford F-250 1997 XLT heavy duty. Yeah, whatever they say. It's a manual, and this truck has a lot of issues. It's got the check engine light on for one, but I don't think we have a vehicle at home that doesn't have the check engine light on. I know it has major exhaust leaks, at least by the driver's side exhaust manifold. And who knows what else is going on with it. Ford has a special, or at least did back in the day, had a special scan tool plug that you need for it that we don't have, so we can't actually read what that check engine's all about. And here we are. I have a couple old harvesters, but I think I think they do eventually fill those up. But mainly what they do before they fill the harvesters is they, or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, they fill bags back there, and they certainly empty the bags before the silos. Just drop the wagon off in the driveway. Probably do a little spinning as I leave, because another thing about this truck, it does not have any special differentials, so if one wheel spins, they all spin, or both of them, I guess. I'm not in four-wheel drive, and this truck's not the easiest to put into four-wheel drive because you have to get out and manually lock your hubs on this. It has no vacuum actuated hubs like the, I know at least Dodges of that era, like that one sitting right there, had. But now I'm gonna drive home and I'll be driving at normal road speed, so I probably shouldn't be holding a camera in one hand. Well, I'm just up in the woods hayfield bringing home a couple more bales, and I'm really noticing all this snow melting off and the difference that it makes actually seeing the ground again. I mean, it really hasn't been that long, a month or so, but it's encouraging and nice to see a little bit of change. When I think about it, and it's still only February 13th, so there's still the chance that it gets really, really cold again before springtime. But I can enjoy it right now while it's warm, at least. Also, something to consider is I'm on a pretty steep hillside, and it's pretty wet. Now I'm heading down into what we call the sugar woods because of all the sugar maple trees. And here we go. Now we're down the steepest part, so the rest of it should be pretty home free. Alright, I got bales home from the woods, so I believe I have one grassier one, I think that's the one on the back, for the heifers, and it should be one alfalfa bale for the cows. So now before I go in and have my lunch, I need to give the cows a little bit more food to eat. Yeah, as they're letting me know right now. They just had their silage, but they need a little hay to keep them going a little bit longer. I can definitely tell that it is above 40 degrees now, and it's feeling quite nice outside. Looking outside right now, seeing everything melting and it being all nice and warm, it would make me feel like it's almost springtime, you know, March maybe a month further along than we are right now, but just knowing that it's only mid-February kind of kills my hope there. But I am enjoying it while it lasts, for sure. I don't know if it's going to get colder or not, but it's going to be a while before it gets really warm. That's what I'm saying. Cows are enjoying their hay. Everybody's eating up. Now I'm going to go in the house and I'm going to eat some lunch too. Hey, does that sound reasonable? Does that sound reasonable that you're eating so I can go eat too? Yeah? Okay. Thank you for the permission to go eat. Alright, it is after lunch. We're actually reaching late afternoon at about 3 o'clock. And it is 48 or 49 degrees. I can't remember. I think it's 49 degrees out here. So it's almost breaking 50 degrees. And I can feel the sun on the back of my neck and it just feels great. So we're going to go clean the barn. I don't even have to wait for this to warm up really. Go clean the barn and then continue on to milking. Well, as it gets warmer, you end up having mud instead of ice, and honestly, at this point, I'd rather have the mud, because at least the mud is a little bit encouraging, because that means it is well above freezing if we're getting solid mud like we are right now. Also, the fact that I'm out here in a hoodie right now and my hood is down and I'm all comfortable, that feels great. I actually need to get some air moving in the cab. A little bit warm. And I don't need to leave the tractor running because it's nice and warm. Most of the hay is all gone. Just finishing up the last little bits. And honestly, the floor is not that bad, so I'm going to scrape that up and clean up the stalls. And then I am going to clean the barn. My dad was asking me if I was going to do a gutter cam, like we saw one of the other farm YouTubers doing. And I said no, because as I run the gutter cam, he didn't have his cows in the barn. As I run the gutter cam, it would, as my dad said, it would be curtains if it's going down and the cow poops or pees as it's going down. Yeah, this gets covered in, yeah, so we're not gonna do that. But I'm gonna get the floor cleaned up and get going with cleaning barn. Alright, so now I have this stage. Do this with one hand. There's stuff in the gutter. It's manure to keep this water going out. Alright, sweet. Now I just need to go out here and pitch some of this manure down into the spreader to keep that front sealed up so that doesn't leak all over the place. Mother, how are things going?
Good. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. Do you agree? Do you like seeing the sunshine outside? Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys think? You guys want to go outside, don't you? We just don't have the fence or pasture set up yet for them to go outside, so.
All that water.
Yeah. Those poor guys have a bit of a muddy pasture because with the sun so far south in the sky, the barn actually blocks a lot of their sunlight during the winter time, so when it warms up like this it gets a little muddy and there's not really a whole lot we can do about it. But we're heading out to the center alfalfa field out here to haul more on it. It was hauled, covered, it was probably covered completely maybe September, November, somewhere in there. So now we're just covering it again because it's a field that usually needs a little bit more fertilizer on it, so cover it twice. Now we're kind of making tracks in this field here because it's quite soft. So hopefully our tracks don't go too deep, but they are quite deep, quite muddy. Hopefully as we unload the spreader and it gets a little bit lighter, the tracks become a little more shallow. Sunny and warm. Got the spreader unloaded, just driving back, keeping it open to run anything out that I can, because I don't really need to scrape it off because since it's not freezing it all falls down there pretty well. We're gonna run this back and stage a bale probably in front of the barn so that's ready to come in when I need to feed hay. Then I'm gonna go to milking, maybe grab just a little bit of milking film, but I think this video is already probably gonna be pretty long. We'll see, we'll see. Grab a little bit of milking film and then put it down for the night, because it is Friday night, which means pizza night, and I like my pizza. So I like to be done early on Friday nights. Barn is cleaned, bale is staged, now it's just on to milking. Sorry, I tipped the camera a little bit there. It's nice and clean in the barn. I'm noticing nice white tile. It's also nice and bright because there's still some light coming in the windows. It's almost 5 o'clock and it's still pretty light outside. I like it. But I'm gonna get started with milking here. I'm gonna be getting a couple milkers from my mom, I think. She's almost done with her side. I'm gonna go to my side and get milking.
So hopefully you can hear me. Keith is currently working on sage on yet again a teat end that is closed up. And I don't know if any of you know this, but sometimes cows are allergic to their own milk. Her quarter did not get milked out this morning, and tonight, I don't know if you can see it, you can see her eyes. She has a puffy face, and occasionally when we have dried up a cow, obviously you stop milking them so they have a period of time before their calves are born in which they are not milking, their milk supply dries up, and then as the calving approaches, they start producing colostrum. Well, occasionally we would have a cow that when we stopped milking her, we came out, 12 hours later, and she's all puffy. And, my initial thought was, gee, she's allergic to something in the dry cow treatment, but they're actually sometimes allergic to their own milk. And when that milk does not get emptied, and they're retaining it, they swell up. Now, we've not seen it with every cow, just occasionally, but then there's a dairy that Keith watches their YouTube page. They're out in Washington State. They've had the same thing with some of their jerseys, at least one of them in particular. So anyway, didn't know if any of you had ever heard of that before, and it's kind of an interesting act of nature, I guess.
It's pretty cozy in the barn after milking, huh, Annie? Yeah. Surprisingly, the cows seem pretty content. Usually after milking, they're yelling at me, asking, "Where's the food?" I should show, while I have the camera on here, a new bull calf that was born yesterday, I believe. Yesterday, or was it the day before? I don't know. New bull calf. Hi. Hey, buddy. So I think I'm going to make sure these doors get closed up. Make sure the end of the barn gets closed up so that he stays warm tonight. Since even though it's in the 40s right now, as the sun goes down, well, the sun is down now, it's gonna get colder, and I don't want him to get cold. So that looks quite nice out there. I don't have my night mode on my camera, so it might be a little bit dark. I don't know how it'll show up. But it's pretty nice. It's almost 6 o'clock. Now, just gonna close up the end of the barn. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Yeah. He was born to a heifer. I don't know who the heifer was, but he's a good little boy. So I'm gonna close up the end of the barn here and get feeding. Alright, so the old bale is all finished up. Got about half the barn fed. So now I'm going to bring in, looks like a pretty nice alfalfa bale that I brought home from the woods. I'm seeing like a tiny bit of mold, a little bit down there. But by the time I get it open, it feels like it's pretty fluffy. It smells good. So I'm gonna bring that in, split it open, and then feed the rest of the cows. The battery light on my camera has now switched to a yellow from a white, so we'll see how much more film time I get here. Well, I actually forgot to put my camera in the back window this time to film me cutting the bale open, but there are plenty of videos on this channel. You can find them. Almost every video has a clip of me cutting a bale in it. But this is our bale knife. It's a McHale, made in Ireland, I believe. Works well, has worked well for us for a couple years now. And this is a good alfalfa bale. Woods, I'm assuming second crop. We don't really label them, probably should, but don't. I'm assuming second crop, but it's a good alfalfa bale. Wait, I want to leave this open. Leave that door open, close that door a little bit. Since it's going to be pretty warm overnight, maybe dip just below 30. We want good ventilation into the barn, but not too good. We don't want them to be cold. So I'm going to leave a little bit, that door open a little bit, then leave that door open with that door closed. Should have a little bit of air moving through for the ladies. I'm going to feed them and the rest of these guys. That side is already all fed. I'm going to feed these guys and those guys, and then I'll be done for the day. Alright, well the cows are all fed in the barn, everybody's cozy, and it's a little bit warm in here, so I've left those doors and stuff open to try to keep it a little bit cooler and vented in here. But now that I'm done, I'm going to go inside and eat some pizza and enjoy my night. Probably edit this video tonight or tomorrow morning, I don't know. That doesn't have anything to do with the farm though, I'm just blabbing at this point. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week. And thanks for watching.